up, brothers? Coming back at you with a Volvo video. Today we're gonna finish up the exhaust because it's a little loud and he hates the drone that this thing's got. If you guys straight pipe your cars, you know what it's all about. So let's get after it. So our plan of attack here on the Volvo is as follows. We're gonna use these miscellaneous pipes that we have laying around. And if you guys know, have a Volvo that's straight piped, they created a lot of drone. And he's cheap, but they create a serious amount of drone and it's very obnoxious if you're driving the vehicle, but he loves the tone and so do I as far as the way this thing sounds. So what we're using is this loop around that is a resonator for this muffler setup. We're gonna cut this off of here and use it for the 3-inch on there so that it mates up with the oval that's on the car. And we're gonna make this work. Step 1! Now that you understand the topic behind the resonator and creating less drone while keeping it straight piped, now we have to take it off of this oval like you saw us finish in the last one. It got quite rusty since the last time you saw it because it's not stainless. Pennsylvania, you know, salty roads, we just had a snowstorm. So we gotta round this, make it a circle so we have 3-inch round, just like we did up front with the V-band. I'll put that video in the description if you wanna see that. And then we just gotta route it up in here, put the loop around up in this area, and then exit it out here, obviously. And all while hooking it to the original exhaust hanger is right here. And that's the only one we gotta hit here. So, let's get to it. Step 2! So here we have the pipe expander set. This one's from Mac Tools. I'll put some in the Amazon description. Cut that part. I'll put some in the link. I'll put a link in the description below for something that you can find on Amazon that's probably more cost effective. This kit was a little, yeah, it's right on sale, but it was like 250 bucks still. Yeah, we got the cone of shame with it, but yeah, so, that good. And these cones are good as well when you're just trying to expand a little bit. So, he's got this in here like that, and got the right size, so we're gonna start moving it with this smaller die, and then we'll keep making it bigger and bigger until we get it to the round that we want. So now you can see it's not quite an oval anymore, it's starting to expand and get into a circle. We just gotta keep going a little bit more, change dies so that we can get it to the size that we're looking for. Oh, I chipped the concrete, man! Oh. So sometimes you need a little extra so you can fit your jaw in there. So he's gonna hit it with the cone. Anyway. So now we got pretty much a round circle. We're gonna test fit this and see if we need to do any more. Ooh, step 3! Now that we're looking at it, holding it to both sides. It's got a little gap on both sides. So it's still not quite expanded to the, well, top and bottom. Yeah, it still needs to expand just a little bit more. Hold that tail up a little bit. But these are weldable gaps that we are dealing with here. So that's actually gonna work. So now we just need to figure out how we're gonna cut these bends off of here and fit it up in here. Step 4! All right, so we started cutting this exhaust apart just to see what kind of test fitting we got here. And we're gonna snorkel this thing out the back. We're good. But nah, this is actually a good fit where we cut it on the one side, lines up nice. So what we're gonna do is have this come up and around up to here, and then we'll turn it around, and then that'll leave enough space for us to put the turn here. So for the resonator over there, it'll have enough room for it to turn around and be housed up in this area over here where the muffler was. Okay, so now we got it cut. You can see where it's going. It's gonna make a little nice lineup. We're gonna need a little bit of a pie cut so that it'll go in behind the shield over here. Not a big deal for our next one. So basically we just need a straighter piece that'll get us closer to here, and then we'll need another turn, and it looks like we'll have enough bends to do so, which actually we may be able to use part of this bend. We can cut it off here and then use part of that bend to start the bend here. But we may need some adjusting. You guys will know as we go. Step 5! All right, so here's the idea we're working with here. You can see how it's traveling. It's not perfect. We're gonna cut this hanger off and cut it right about here, and then add a turn so that we're going in the right direction, but we're definitely getting where we want to. This bump up is kind of nice, kind of gets it up and out of the way, and we can turn this a little bit, but we're gonna cut this first, so. Now that's what I'm talking about. Leaving it right before we gotta turn it. So now I'll just cut one of these bends off of here, depending on which one's the tightest. My lighting's all wrong, but yeah. And then figure out which one we need to send it on home. Step 6! We're gonna tack this bad boy on here. So what we're gonna do, well, I'm jumping ahead of the game here. He's ready to tack right now. Yes. All right, to catch you guys up on where we've been and what we're doing, we've got everything lined up. I had to make a little bit of a pie cut because the turn that was making with this angle was not right. And now that we see how this is going, we kind of like the way it's dumping at the side here. So we're gonna go with that, but we need to extend this piece that's in my left hand a little bit so that it actually comes out to about here, and we can turn it and do what we want with it. So we are doing some test fitting right now and make sure our pie cut's in the proper spot. And then from that, we're gonna cut this piece apart and then extend it, so. All right, people, so we got a pie cut over here now because when putting it down for the final assembly, we've got that extra piece of pipe on there, which works out nice. It comes out real nice and far because Nate likes the long, yeah. So we got this on here, a little pie cut because it was angled a little too far down, it looked really goofy. So we angled it up a little bit with this pie cut. You see how it kind of ramps it up this way. And so we are currently tacked on there. We're gonna bring the exhaust down so we can weld it up the rest of the way on here. And then we're ready to send this thing home and put a hanger on it. Step 8, question mark? So what we're doing here is got everything lined up where we want. We're still deciding tip, but we got it in a good location where we want to exit. We are probably gonna put it up just a little higher, but we can do that once we put the, and we can change that by the band up there. Yeah. We can tighten it when I can tweak it like this, because right now he has that V-band loosened, so we can change it a little bit. But I got some decent welds on all the junctions, so now we're gonna take it all the way down, and so I can weld it fully before we do the final tip and hanger situation. All right, we got this thing all welded in there in place fully, so now it's time to toss this thing up and do a final mock-up so that we can get this hanger and tailpipe right. Look at that, boys and girls. Looking pretty good over here. Now, oh man, this is my hanger. So it's a bit long. You can see it's supposed to go in here in the insulator. So it's obviously gonna be way too long. So what I'm gonna do is cut it at those lines there, fit it into the hanger so it still has a little bit of room, and then bend the bottom portion of it to go underneath the exhaust here. And then we'll weld it in. And then said tailpipe will be inserted and stick out like a nice boy. Got that hot boy flavor. Don't slip out and bust your ass. I'll have the rest of it. That's good. Go ahead. Step 8. Bask in the glory of a finished product before we try it. The way it fits in here, all nice. It looks good. Now the real question is, we didn't do that turnaround like we were talking about because we're wondering what it's gonna sound like. We'd rather it be just straight piped because we want the most amount of volume and sound that we can get out of this thing. So if it's not too drony, we're gonna leave it as is, but if it is, then we will. We already cut the piece out, so we're ready to put it in, but it does fit right up in there. So when we need to do it,
somehow like that.
Yeah,
that'll be perfect.
And it's easy because the V-band comes off right there. We can drop the rest of this whole tail piece and then cut a hole in there and weld it in there, and we'll call it a night on that. So let's see if we can get a flame out this bad boy. Kick it! right, and we're back outside next day. Well, it's actually been a few days, but we're gonna do a little cold start so you guys can get some outside energy and see what it sounds like. Go ahead. Let's go for a little ride. Listen to this baby on the street.
Yo, what's up, brothers? Ari's been asleep for the past 5 days or so looks like I'll be wrapping up this video. So, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, throw it down in the comments. We'll answer them all. And follow along for an awesome, epic build of the super cool Volvo Luxury Sports Sleeper Wagon. Catch you later, brothers.